Uyghur ethnic group represents a worrying escalation. It suggests that their influence is expanding.
Well, Kamran Bokhari is an Asia Studies expert, formerly at the State Department's Foreign Service Institute. He joins me live now from Washington. Good to have you on the programme. The local branch of Islamic State has claimed responsibility for this attack. What is their strategy here?
Well, their strategy, given from this target set, they want to hit at least two birds with one stone. One is to exacerbate ethnic and sectarian tensions by targeting Shia minority group. They want to be able to rile up the minorities who are already really concerned about their fate because of the Taliban takeover. So that's one. Number two is that they want to be able to send a message. The location in Kunduz is to rattle not just Iran, which would get involved because the Shiites have been targeted, but also Russia and the Central Asian states, because Kunduz is not far off from the borders with Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and even Tajikistan. And we've seen a war of words between the Taliban and the Tajikistani government. So that seems to be the strategy here, basically to prevent the Taliban from consolidating power and exploit the chaos.
In which case, what is the Taliban going to do in response? This is becoming a regular, if not weekly, occurrence.
Here's where the Taliban run into a major dilemma, as I argued in my Wall Street Journal piece from a few weeks ago. The more the Taliban try to become pragmatic and try to govern the country, and the further away they get from ideology, the more they risk losing fighters to ISIS. So it's one thing for the Taliban to go suppress minorities and other communities in Afghanistan, but allowing they can't just sit by and have ISIS do these bombings because they look very weak and unable to provide for security. So they have to go after the perpetrators. And when they do go after the perpetrators, they will end up going after fellow jihadists. And that's going to create a rift, and that gives ISIS a stick with which they can beat the Taliban. And they can point to Taliban fighters that, look, the Taliban leadership has given up on the so-called cause of jihadism. So this is a real strategic dilemma for the Taliban.
And whose interest does all of this serve?
I mean, it serves nobody's interest other than ISIS, because at the end of the day, we've seen this play out in Iraq and Syria, where civil unrest, uprisings, violence is fully exploited by ISIS. This is its signature modus operandi, to use conditions of war and conflict and ethnic and sectarian tensions to its advantage. So it's definitely ISIS is trying to take advantage of a strategic vacuum that I think will grow in time, because I don't see the Taliban being able to stabilize this situation, at least not anytime soon. And that provides for a window of opportunity for ISIS and other transnational jihadist actors.
Kamran Bokhari, many thanks for joining us from Washington.